Yeah, you've touched extensively on Asia. We've touched on Africa as well. There's a question here from Jeremy Wilmhurst of the British Embassy here in Dublin. He wants to know, what is your assessment of recent Gulf peace deals with Israel? What might happen next in the Middle East peace process?
Well, I've taken a slightly contrarian position. I don't regard these recent agreements, the establishment of diplomatic relations between the UAE and Israel, between Bahrain and Israel, as particularly significant. They're not trivial, they're not non-events, but they're not a breakthrough in any significant way. First of all, these were countries that weren't at war with Israel, had never fought Israel, posed no military threat to Israel. So suddenly establishing diplomatic relations doesn't alter the strategic situation at all. Secondly, there was already a lot of tacit cooperation between these countries and Israel. That's been going on for a long time. A lot of it is focused on their mutual antipathy toward Iran. So it wasn't exactly a revelation to discover that these countries were now willing to sort of go public with this as well. So I say it's not a non-event, but it's not a real breakthrough. And of course, it does absolutely nothing to deal with what is Israel's central problem, which is namely still the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and what they're going to do with the million-plus Palestinians who are under their control but have no political rights. It has no bearing on that decision. If anything, it just allows the situation to continue. Now, there is a statement, or there's been a hint that to get this, the Netanyahu government agreed that they would not go ahead with plans to annex the West Bank. I guess my view is that option is always there. It's certainly been something that the Israeli right has pushed for a long time. And I don't imagine the UAE sort of breaking diplomatic relations 3 years from now, if that's what ultimately happens. So when I did write about this a few weeks ago, and I said, basically the road to a one-state solution just got a fresh coat of asphalt. It made that more likely, and that itself poses, I think, enormous long-term problems for Israel, because it will be impossible to impose a one-state solution and also remain any kind of a democracy in more than just name only. I think there it has enormous long-term problems, and those agreements really didn't do much to address that.